What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy, Kyle Milligan, coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida. And today I want to ask you, how would you like to take all of the thought out of crafting your next lead? So I'm talking about a blueprint, or maybe formula is a better word, that will help ensure you never write a crappy lead again. And so the reason I like to use the word formula here is because it's sort of like, as long as you have like these components on this side of the equation. So it'd be like, X, Y, Z, like X plus Y plus Z equals intrigue equals sales equals hook. You can rearrange that so it can be Y plus X plus Z, or it could be Z plus Y plus X equals intrigue, sales, conversions, happiness, right? So what this will allow you to do is, at a glance, you'll be able to tell if your lead has all the elements that you need to hook a reader and drag them into your sales argument. And this is important because like one of the most common things that people complain about is this spinning wheels. They reach the blank page. Well, how do I start? I'm just spinning my wheels and banging my head against the wall. So what this formula allows you to do is hit the ground running right at the beginning. And then even more importantly, I think this is even harder than starting, is self-editing. Editing is probably one of the hardest skills to learn inside the copy game. So what you can do is you can take this formula and you are all done writing your letter. You go back to the top, you go back to the beginning and you look at it and you say, does my lead suck? Like, you can tell if your lead is crappy or not, because it's like as simple as just like, okay, does it have this? Does it have this? Does it have this? So it offers you like a checklist style solution when you're editing copy to make sure that your lead isn't junk. So this blueprint has helped me personally write a single sales letter that has run for over a year and has grossed over 8 figures. So that's $10 million in gross revenue. So that's me personally. And in 2020, I used this same blueprint to teach a team of over a dozen writers. I had about a dozen writers between freelancers and full-time in-house guys. And by sharing this, like I was developing it that year, sharing this with them and getting them rolling helped us gross over $50 million in gross sales in 2020. Okay. And these weren't like expert writers. Like, some of these dudes had never written copy before. So one of them was a 20-something-year-old who joined our business as an intern. And he wrote a couple $1 million promos in 2020. And again, this checklist was super helpful in getting those sales letters going. One was a former manager at a logistics company. He was like a regional director or regional manager or something. Again, had never ever written copy in his life. In fact, he like saw some of my YouTube videos, and that's how he found out about copy. And then I hired him, and bingo bango, his first year we got him $2 million. I did actually have a couple former Agora Financial guys. And some of these dudes had not actually achieved $1 million launch while they were at AF, but using this checklist, using this lead formula, they were able to write some $1 million packages. So you may not even realize it right now, and you will soon. You'll recognize this later on. But I'm actually using the checklist and the formula on you at this very moment. So I'm just following my own system. I'm like I'm eating my own cooking here. Okay, so you can see it's very casual. It's very easy to do. So anyone can do this. Like, you can do this. It's not difficult. It really is. It's as simple as sort of like, oh, did I mention this? Did I mention this? Did I check this off? So you layer those things on top of each other. You simply walk through them when you're constructing your lead. And I hope you're hyped by now about some of the stuff that I've shared with you, because I'm going to teach you how to do basically what I just did. So I'm creating a new leads course. It's going to focus exclusively on just the lead, but we're going to kind of work backwards. Here's what you can expect. We're going to go over first. We're going to go over the 3-act structure of a sales letter. So a sales letter is broken into Act 1, the lead; Act 2, the body copy; Act 3, the offer. Okay. So when you're crafting a sales letter, there's sort of like natural story arcs that sort of any writing follows. It could be novels, it could be movies, Hollywood screenplays. So that's where I got like this 3-act structure from. But if you simply follow these and you understand what comes when inside of your sales argument as you're building it, so sort of when to crescendo, when to hit them harder with intrigue, when you're supposed to reveal certain plot points of your sales argument. So I'll give you the high level overview of the 3-act structure, because if you don't understand what has to take place in Act 2 and 3, you will not effectively craft Act 1, the lead, because the lead is simply a bit of a teaser for what is to come, to get them excited and get them hyped so you can hook them and drag them into that sales argument. The other thing that I'll do is across the 3 acts, there's going to be 4 major questions that you must address in your sales letter in order to keep someone gripped and coming down further and further and further into your sales argument. If you don't go after these 4 questions, and some people I actually see, they pick random questions to try to tease and hook and bring the person into their sales letter, and it just comes out looking silly when it's like no one cares about that question. You have to know the 4 major questions that drives the intrigue and curiosity so you can drag them in, and you've got to know how to execute that. So you'll need to know all of them for the whole sales letter so you can do it correctly in the lead. And then the last thing you need to know, what probably almost the most important for the lead course, is the 5-point checklist that you need to know for a lead. There's also 2 bonus items that if you throw them in there, you can kind of like accentuate the hype of the lead itself. So again, we'll have to cover kind of like broad strokes, the entire sales letter itself, the sort of intrigue that you need to build and carry through the sales letter with a monster focus on executing that stuff first in the first couple pages in your lead. So again, you'll get high level stuff there, but you'll get the deep stuff of the lead. And I'm going to teach you not necessarily what to write in your lead. So if you know anything about me, I'm not here to give you like, oh, fill in the blank, do this, do that. What I'm going to do instead is teach you how to approach and structure and write your lead. Okay. So a couple notes for you. This is very important. If you're an e-com person, okay, because I get this question a lot. If you're writing simple product pages, I don't know that if it's like a single like Amazon product page, I don't know that this would be a great help for you. If you have a full page product page, the principles in here about how to understand the core questions that you must answer to make someone buy, those sorts of principles will help you get better at building intrigue and answering those core objections that you might not even know existed before someone will buy your physical product. And also it'll teach you a little bit about how to sell sort of the result, to sell the sizzle and not just the physical product or the steak. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. And a lot of e-com dudes get tied up in just explaining what the product is, and they don't effectively sell it correctly. So e-com, some stuff for you, the principles there will help you think more creatively about your copy. Now, if you're in health, biz op, dating, or spirituality stuff, learning this structure will give you a massive leg up in your writing. So you'll have a way, like a new paradigm to sort of approach a lead. So first off, it will give you organization. It'll organize your thoughts in such a way that you'll be able to sit down, okay, what's next? What am I missing? Okay. And it'll also give you something that'll be a little bit outside of the box for what's probably traditional in your field, but it's proven and it's effective at hooking human nature. And whether it's financial, whether it's like getting the girl of your dreams or the man of your dreams, or it's about achieving like 6-pack abs and better health, you can still use these exact same steps and these core fundamental principles to make someone interested very quickly in what it is that you want to offer them. Okay. And then lastly, if you're in financial copywriting, specifically long form, if you're writing sales letters, anything like that, this will be your Bible. This is so beyond proven. Like it just simply works. I don't like, for when I'm reviewing copy of my team nowadays, or even my own, again, self-editing, like if it doesn't have this stuff, like back to the drawing board, man. Like you have to go back, or not drawing board altogether, but like you need to insert, like you're missing something here. Clearly I can look at it. I can, with it in a glance, I can be like, better than to submit copy without these pieces, so like go back and get those pieces in there so that we can have the best chance at having a big old successful sales letter or launch, right? So if you're in financial, this is like half your job done for you. This is straight from a copy chief at a 8-figure business who's coached other writers, regardless of like your current status. You can learn from this. So I think what's really important too, and in closing here, is that this course, or blueprint, formula, checklist, however you want to label it, I am handing you, again, it's a blueprint. Okay, so I'm an architect and I'm drawing out plans, and then I'm handing those over to you. I cannot swing the hammer for you. Okay, so I'm giving you the structure. I'm giving you everything that you need to go and build it. And what's going to be required of you is a couple things. Like, first off, you got to implement it. And the second thing is it needs to be integrated into your daily or weekly or however you practice. It needs to be integrated into your practice. So if you follow me and you've seen New, Easy, Safe, and Big, and you started to see that stuff out there in the world, right? It's going to be very similar to that, but with sales letters and leads. When you'll see the opening is going to be like, oh man, he's doing this at this point. He just triggered that. Oh, he just did that. So until you you understand, sort of, again, you understand all the plans and the foundation, the way that you will build up your tool set, your arsenal of technique, is by taking this and implementing it into your daily practice and trying to figure out new ways to follow the exact same steps or the exact same triggers, essentially, because there's can be in different orders if you want to rearrange some of it. But once you know how to trigger all of these, life gets, I would say, drastically easier for you in terms of what you have to do when you step up to the plate. So I think what's really important to, I'll give you one more thing. You know, I mentioned it earlier with e-com and health and financial. The point of this is not to give you every lead. It's not to give you every promo type. I don't want to inundate you with information. I want to give you the simple, straightforward, do these things checklist that has grossed the 8 figures. So in my Copy Squad inner circle, we break down sales letters. Every bi-weekly we break down sales letters, and every other week we break down members copy. And through doing this for over a year, I've broken down over 50 sales letters, and I've whittled it down and chopped out all the excess noise to these major pieces. So the point is not to give you like, oh, well, what if I'm writing this promo, or what if I'm writing this promo, or do just, you need to just make sure that these basic elements are in there. Because, for instance, I opened this video using the exact same checklist, and I'm not selling anything that has to do with making financial gain. I'm not selling anything that has to do with, well, maybe it does have to do with financial gain, but I'm not selling anything that has to do with health or dating specifically or stock market specifically. The techniques are transferable because, again, I opened this video, I went straight into it right away. And that's what I'm saying. Like, once you know these things that have to be triggered, just dive in and trigger them. Okay. So don't overthink it. I think that's probably, I'll leave you with like a most common rookie copywriter mistake. The most common mistake that junior copywriters make is they do not do the least. Junior copywriters sometimes have something to prove, or they want to come up with something new and imaginative and exciting. And that's almost the opposite of what a junior copywriter should be doing. Someone with 5 years of experience should be doing that. But someone who's just getting in the game and getting started needs to follow a simple, basic structure and process so that they know, without having all this self-doubt or agonizing over, is this right or wrong? They just know, okay, I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. This should work. It's been proven, it's been tested, it's been validated. Okay. So again, this is what I've done, breaking down promos basically nonstop over the last 2-3 years, longer than that now. I've distilled it down to these core fundamentals for building a successful lead. I've shared it with my writers. I've proven it with my own work. I've proven it with guys who had financial training at big publishers like Agora Financial. And I've even proven it to work, talking $2 million in sales to a dude who worked in logistics and freight, had no experience in marketing whatsoever. So that's that. I hope you're excited, and let's get going. Let's dive in. Oh yeah. Peace out, Copy Squad.